This is Lost Media found in 2024. Miston. Kicking things off is Miston, an English dub of a Japanese anime originally titled Kasumin. The series stars a 4th grader named Kasumin Haruno, whose parents leave on a trip to Africa, so she stays with the second family, but discovers the truth about their heritage. In exchange for keeping their secret, Kasumi works as the family maid. The dub was once available on YouTube by the channel Ani Disfan, but was deleted after the channel was terminated. Thankfully, Internet Archive user Oblivion Access found the entire series this year. Future Living 2025. Back in 2002, the Science Channel released a documentary special known as Future Living 2025, or simply 2025. Predicted technological advancements were discussed and revealed through the narrative of a fictional family of the era. So is 2025 accurate to today? Somewhat, as it did discuss virtual reality, affordable home security, personalized media platforms, and even portable computers. The only confirmation of existence for 2025 was a mention from an archived version of the channel's webpage. In 2007, the entire special was uploaded in 5 parts to YouTube, but was removed due to the channel's termination. It wouldn't be until January 6th that the documentary would once again surface. It was uploaded to YouTube by user Miku Singularity after obtaining the special from Reddit user Omegladan. Devil Death Story. This Japanese film is so obscure that it wasn't listed in any film databases or wikis. Beyond this, many of the actors in the film itself were not even credited and listed as unknown. For this reason, 1983's Devil Death Story remains an enigma, not even known to exist when its 16mm film print surfaced on a Japanese auction site. The auction was won by film archivist FM Town Marty McFlies. In collaboration with Kaneko Video, the film was digitized, restored, and translated to English, and the full film was uploaded on January 6th. Toon Jam, Jammin' Video VHS. Toon Jam was a PC game released by Turner Interactive and Cartoon Network in 1995. The game itself was a video creator that featured assets from various Cartoon Network shows. The game itself is not lost. However, the accompanying VHS tape, titled Jammin', was lost. This video was essentially a compilation of different excerpts from Cartoon Network programming, hosted by Moxie from The Moxie Show. Jammin' was bundled with every copy of the game. However, due to the negative reception and ultimate rarity of Toon Jam, the VHS was difficult to come by. Internet Archive user Mustache Duct Tape was ultimately the one to obtain and upload the full VHS rip. The Barnyard. Once upon a time, Nickelodeon made a movie simply called Barnyard, released in 2006 to positive reception. In the years following, an episodic TV series would air on Nickelodeon called Back at the Barnyard. But did you know that there was a test pitch that predated both of these? Produced way back in 1999 by series creator Steven Odedurk and DNA Productions, the plot remained the same as the later incarnations, featuring the tagline, "What do animals do when humans aren't watching?" Clips and screenshots of the Barnyard were discovered within a 2005 teaser for the Barnyard movie, and an archived version of the DNA Productions webpage. The almost 4-minute test pitch would not be discovered until this year, when user Live DJ Rock won a VHS containing the pitch on eBay. It was uploaded to YouTube on January 20th. After its finding, users noticed that some of the DNA Productions screenshots were found to not be in the test pitch itself, leading some to believe that there was more. However, these were later confirmed by Odekirk to be part of a separate animation test instead. Haze Dawn. From 1972 to 1973, this anime aired on Fuji TV. The anime itself follows the titular Haze Dawn, a young fish as he trains to become stronger in a comedic fantasy setting. While the series ran for 26 episodes, the single home video release contained just the first and last episodes. In addition, a manga was produced using the anime itself as a source material, showing what the episodes could entail. The final episode had been online since 2022, though the remaining 25 episodes were recovered through a private anime torrent tracker. The uploader remains unknown. In the Flow with Affion Crockett. Affion Crockett was a cast member of the long-running battle rap show Wild 'N Out. which still airs to this day. In 2011, he received his own series titled In the Flow with Affion Crockett, a sketch comedy series that was actually produced by Jamie Foxx. The show only lasted for 6 episodes before it was quietly cancelled and removed from Fox's website. Only the first episode was viewable on Dailymotion, whereas small portions of episodes 2, 3, and 6 were on YouTube. Episodes 4 and 5 were completely lost until February of this year, when Lost Media Wiki user Keith722 posted on the Lost Media Wiki forums that he found all the episodes on a private torrent tracker. A second user named Jackstone uploaded them online. Turn On, the Lost episode. In 1969, ABC aired a somewhat groundbreaking variety show known as Turn On, which was promoted as the, quote, first computerized TV show. The show was received as physically disturbing by some viewers. Due to the unnatural cuts and indelicate humor, the reception was so negative, in fact, that Turn On was reportedly cut from the air and immediately cancelled halfway through the premiere itself. 3 episodes were filmed in total, though that second episode ultimately never saw the light of day. George Schlatter, the show's creator, was unable to broadcast any of these episodes for a number of years, due to a clause within his contract with ABC. It wasn't until 2023 that the first 2 episodes were shared to YouTube by both Schlatter and the YouTube channel Clown Jewels. On February 4th, the third and final episode of Turn On was uploaded to the same channel, Jeopardy! Barbara Lowe episode. Lost media related to game shows is a rabbit hole in and of itself. These episodes are rarely ever made available on any form of home video release, and after a few airings, they're usually swapped out for newer episodes, making them ripe to become lost media. One of the most fascinating examples has to be the Barbara Lowe episodes of Jeopardy! Barbara Lowe was an interesting contestant, to say the least. She was described by some as rather strange and fidgety, and by others as bubbly, and someone who would squeal after answering a tough question. In one instance, she even challenged and argued with the show host, Alex Trebek, something which the contestants were explicitly told not to do during filming. Strangest of all, however, was that Barbara Lowe was apparently not even her real name. In fact, she used several aliases to partake in different game shows and won tens of thousands of dollars. However, after producers found out about this, her money was withheld, and her episodes were banned from airing. For years, these episodes were shrouded in mystery. They never re-aired, Barbara seemingly vanished without a trace, and all information came from third parties. Fast forward to 2023, when Barbara Lowe herself was interviewed by The Ringer. According to Lowe, during filming of the episode, she developed a nasty case of gastroenteritis, an infection of one's digestive system. Lowe complained of feeling very ill, but was reminded that she was costing the show time and money, and taping continued. Lowe contends that her winnings were taken by Jeopardy in an effort to recoup these costs. Now, drama aside, Barbara appeared in, I think, 5 episodes of Jeopardy, the vast majority of which remain lost. Although, in February of this year, the 5th episode of Lowe's run was uploaded to YouTube by the Museum of Classic Chicago Television. I usually try to omit pieces of lost media that are still partially lost, but the Barbara Lowe case is such a well-known topic within the lost media scene that this discovery is worth including. Boondocks Unaired Pilot. The Boondocks is an Adult Swim animated series based on a popular comic strip of the same name that aired from 2005 to 2014. Prior to being picked up, a 6-minute pilot was ordered by Fox sometime between 2003 and 2004. Series creator Aaron McGruder expressed difficulty when adapting the comic into this pilot, as he found mainstream networks to be restrictive. The pilot was ultimately rejected by Fox in 2004. Online claims have been made stating that the pilot was shown at conventions. However, the validity of these claims remains unknown. A 20-second clip of the pilot was posted to Twitter in 2016 by series producer Carl Jones, showcasing an art style difference from the final show. On February 17th, the full pilot surfaced on archive.org, courtesy of user Cal Eastwood. Hershey's Really Big 3D Show. Created by the same company that made Food Fight, the Hershey's Really Big 3D Show is a 12-minute animated film that was exclusively shown at the Hershey's Chocolate World Visitor Center in Pennsylvania. The short is a retelling of the history of Hershey's chocolate, with implemented 3D effects, and remained an attraction for 11 years. It was permanently discontinued back in 2013, and since its closure, Hershey's Really Big 3D Show has not been available to view anywhere. A low-quality camera recording of the film was uploaded in 2015. However, the visuals are difficult to make out since 3D glasses are required. Fast forward to February 20th, when Lost Media Wiki user Ziki Kashmir was able to obtain an HD copy of the full feature from a crew member. Both the 2D and the 3D variants of the film were uploaded to the Internet Archive. Lion's Den. Lion's Den was a 25-minute short film released in 1988. It involved a high school friend group meeting again for the first time in a while since graduation, with the entirety of the work taking place within the Lion's Den diner. The film co-starred Ethan Hawke and was directed by John Ottoman and Bryan Singer, the latter being a friend of Hawke's from high school. It's unclear how the film itself was distributed, though a possible VHS cover has been discovered online. There was talk about Lion's Den being shown at the Directors Guild, as well as a bootleg Japanese release circulating, but none of this has been confirmed. While a search for Lion's Den had been ongoing for a few years, the full movie was suddenly uploaded to the Internet Archive on February 22nd. Shantae TV. The Shantae video game series has been ongoing since its initial Game Boy Color release in 2002. The game series saw a lengthy gap in releases between 2002 and 2010, and a number of planned installments were cancelled during this time. Among these is Shantae Advance. This game was intended as a sequel to the Game Boy Color title. However, its developer WayForward was unable to find a publisher and the game went unfinished. While the Game Boy Advance version was cancelled, there were plans to revive the game as a plug-and-play for a short bit. Known as Shantae TV, it was shown only once at the 2003 Toy Fair and mentioned on the official website, before never being heard from again. On February 24th, a build of Shantae TV was uploaded to the Internet Archive by DevEd2. Though the game is currently unplayable, efforts to get the ROM running on MAME are in the works. Little Big Planet Hub. Little Big Planet is a series of platformer video games developed for the PlayStation family of consoles since 2008. In 2013, a free downloadable iteration within the series, titled Little Big Planet Hub, was announced by Sony at Gamescom that same year. Intended for release on the PlayStation 3, the game was never mentioned again and silently cancelled. It's theorized that Sumo Digital, the developer of the game, had moved on to developing 2014's Little Big Planet 3 instead. Well, it was this year that an internal test beta of Little Big Planet Hub had resurfaced, and was dumped by the Little Big Russia community. On February 25th, the full build was made available on the Internet Archive by user Cancerius. Human Forms. What may be among the most niche finds this year is the Human Forms image library. Used during the early days of the Macintosh computer, this floppy disk released 26 pages of clip art images to be used in Mac Paint. The art included simple depictions of the human body, including heads, hands, and torso. It's unknown how well this software sold, as there were no known sales figures or history of secondhand listings. While near impossible to obtain online, Lost Media Wiki user Ziggy Kashmir was able to get in contact with Burr Monroy, the artist who worked on Human Forms, who provided a personal copy. Human Forms was made available on archive.org on February 27th. Try to Smile Again. This unidentified song originally became known online back in 2005 when spiritofradio.ca user Mack uploaded a 30-second snippet of the track. No further information was given by the uploader regarding the song's age, country of origin, or how they obtained the track to begin with. The search went cold in the years to follow. In 2023, the search gained traction yet again when a user known simply as Lostwave uploaded the Spirit of Radio clip to YouTube. Many speculated that the song's origin was European, given the pronunciation of the lyrics and the Italo-disco sound of the track. On February 14th of this year, YouTube user Joe Heidi uploaded a 3-minute clip of the song, claiming to have recorded it from an Estonian radio station during the early to mid-90s. With this lead, the search team eventually came into contact with Sven Lomas, who was once a part of a group known as Beat Boy. And thus, the song was officially identified by Marin Janus, Mystic65, and Regen Grisor as the 1992 song Braverly by Estonian artist Beat Boy. Using its official title, the full track was recovered through a file sharing site and uploaded to YouTube by user Q on February 27th. Al's Brain. In 2009, Weird Al Yankovic wrote, directed, and starred in an educational short film titled Al's Brain. This 10-minute feature included other big names, such as Fabio and Paul McCartney, and illustrated the structure and functions of the brain itself. The short was only shown at a few events, namely county fairs, and was never reshown or released in full following this. On November 13th, 2020, a Reddit post about the film was made on the Lost Media subreddit. In response, Reddit user Minic27 posted a Google Drive link to a theater recording from the short's theatrical run. However, the drive was later removed by Minic, quote, "not wanting to ruffle any feathers." Though the can was later reposted in February 2024, it suffered from the same issues that the Hershey's Big Show bootleg had. But then, suddenly on February 29th, YouTube user Bryce Buchanan uploaded the full short to YouTube in direct 4K quality before deleting his whole channel. While the short was later re-uploaded to archive.org, it's still a mystery how Buchanan obtained the film and why their channel was deleted. Time Splitters 4. Time Splitters is a series of FPS video games that initially debuted in 2000 on the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. Seen as a spiritual successor to games like Perfect Dark, the first 3 games in the series were well received by critics. In 2008, plans were in the works to develop a 4th installment exclusively for the PS3. Unfortunately, after a lengthy time in development limbo, Time Splitters 4 was scrapped. It was in March of this year that Reddit user FlimsyZebra3775 discovered an eBay listing for a PS3 test console with the Time Splitters 4 logo visible on screen. After confirming the validity of the listing, the console was purchased. FlimsyZebra3775, with the help of Free Radical Archive, uploaded the full build to hiddenpalace.org on March 6th. Hotel Mario Prototype. Infamous for its animated cutscenes and the plethora of memes and YouTube poops that use them, Hotel Mario is a 1994 puzzle game for the Philips CDI. Developed by Fantasy Factory, Nintendo had no hand in the game itself. The specific build discovered was dated November 23, 1993, roughly 5 months prior to the game's official release. Despite this, a variety of changes between the prototype and the retail versions are observed within this beta, such as previously unknown cutscenes, audio, as well as early versions of title screens and levels themselves. This pre-release build of Hotel Mario was not publicly known. Instead, it was discovered by YouTuber GamePackRat, who came across the beta at a Goodwill of all places. A series of videos documenting the discovery have been uploaded to his YouTube channel. The full ROM was dumped and uploaded to the Internet Archive on March 10th. Shooting Star Milkshake Bar. Phineas and Ferb is a Disney Channel cartoon that aired from 2007 to 2015. The show is known for featuring an original song within almost every episode. The 2009 episode, Out to Launch, featured a song called Shooting Star Milkshake Bar. and while a portion of the song is played within this episode, a full version of the track is also known to exist, but was lost. The full version was played during meet and greets with the Phineas and Ferb characters at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida. Unfortunately, this is no longer an event within the park, though footage where the song is heard can be found in some Disney vlogs. An instrumental version of Shooting Star Milkshake Bar was also found in the online game Transportinators of Doom. The full version of the song was found on March 10th, when uploaded by YouTube user Charter Schoolgirl. Core. Core was a series of promotional extreme sports DVDs that were only distributed in Australia within select boxes of Nutri-Grain cereal. There were 3 entries in total, those being Core FMX, Core Surf, and Core Skate. Being about 30 minutes long, the specials primarily featured compilations of stunts, with brief comedy skits included as well. Advertisements promoting the DVD are easy to find, but due to the Core promotion itself only running sometime between 2003 and 2004, the actual DVDs are hard to come by. Core Skate was the first to be found back in August of 2022 by Internet Archive user ZKY2K. It wasn't until March 18th and 19th that another user, known as Peter Hernandez933, uploaded Core Surf and Core FMX. Spy vs. Spy, the Island Caper. This game was the intended localization of a Japanese Famicom title known as Tropical Detective Spy vs. Spy, that saw release in 1987. Based on the American comic series Spy vs. Spy, both the original and localized variants were worked on by Kemco and licensed by Nintendo. Spy vs. Spy: The Island Caper was reviewed in various magazines between 1988 and 1989, though the game ultimately never saw any release outside of Japan. The reasoning behind this remains unknown. A prototype of the Island Caper had surfaced through an eBay listing back in 2015. While the auction did see a buyer, the game itself never surfaced following the auction's end. While no other prototype listings have surfaced in the years since, the full game was suddenly uploaded to archive.org on March 20th, courtesy of user the NicktoonFan 2010. According to this user, the prototype was found within the ROM sharing site Vim's Lair, and it was later discovered that the prototype was actually given to hiddenpalace.org by the Video Game History Foundation back in 2021. Legub. The stop-motion film was released in Estonia in the year 1977. Only 9 minutes in length, the short is based on the written works of author Ilar Kuz, and follows a man's transition from caveman to sophisticated automobile inventor. The animation was shown sparingly over the years, notably in 1977, 1994, and 2012. It was on March 23rd that arcade user Noisemaster was able to upload the short film online. Springtime with Mr. Rogers. Of all the lost media related to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Springtime with Mr. Rogers might be the most obscure. That's because the special only has one confirmed air date in 1979. In fact, so little was known about the special that some didn't think it was ever completed. Its plot involved Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood raising money to fix a leak in Betty Aberlin's Little Theater. Meanwhile, in the neighborhood of Make-Believe, Lady Elaine dreams about being a princess. The Mr. Rogers Foundation had come across a videotape containing the special, though it's unfortunately missing the first 20 minutes, technically marking the special as only partially found. Some days later, a man named Mark Bazita provided a TV recording of the full special to the Fred Rogers Company. It was made publicly available when MySplain user Snowpeck uploaded Mark's copy online. The Player. Next is a film that has not seen the light of day for at least 50 years. The Player is a 1971 film involving the game of pool, and was written by professional billiards player Thomas DeMartini. Filmed at a pool hall in Louisiana, only about 30 prints of the Player were made, and the movie was only shown for 1 week before being pulled. The full 103-minute feature film was uncovered, restored, and uploaded to YouTube by the film archival channel FT Depot, finding it by chance after going through an outdoor storage room within a drive-in theater. It's believed that the film would have been too deteriorated to restore if it had remained in storage for much longer. Europolitan Vodafone Advertisements. Just when you thought human forms was niche, this next topic is a series of advertisements for a prepaid SIM card brand. In the spring of 2002, Swedish telecommunications company Europolitan merged with Vodafone and began airing an unusual series of commercials. These ads are remembered well due to their surreal and nonsensical subject matter, with one of them featuring a puppeteer controlling two fish with doll limbs attached. Two commercials are known to exist for this campaign, with the first, titled Cucumber Roll, having been online since 2008. The second, titled Fish Circus, with the aforementioned fish puppets, was uploaded within a commercial compilation back in May of 2023 by YouTube user Mixtus Carminibus. However, the ad itself was not recovered and marked found until April 1st of this year, when user Pontus B uploaded the commercial on its own. Seinfeld, the Gun Screenplay. During its second season, the popular American sitcom Seinfeld had planned an episode that was a bit darker than what was typical of the show, involving the character Elaine potentially buying a gun, and even referencing the JFK assassination. This episode, referred to as The Bet or The Gun, made it to the screenplay stage of development. A table read had occurred, with the main cast reportedly feeling uncomfortable about the gun-related humor. Due to many feeling that the subject matter was too difficult to make humorous, The Gun was inevitably scrapped. While known within the fanbase for years, it was unknown if any of the episode was filmed in any capacity, or if the screenplay still existed years later. Eventually, listings for some copies would surface for sale, only to be sold to unknown buyers. It wasn't until April 2nd that Lost Media Wiki user HBO_GOTS was able to purchase a copy of the screenplay and provide it to the Internet Archive. Who Wants to Be a Superhero? This game show aired on British TV channel CBBC during the first quarter of 2009. The premise involved allowing its contestants, ages 9 through 13, to play as their own unique superhero, solve various challenges, and fight villains. The show saw some controversy while airing, as the Daily Mail brought forward the possibility of the show exploiting its child contestants. In the end, action was taken against the Daily Mail for invading the privacy of the contestants' families. YouTube channel Childhood Nostalgia had initially begun uploading episodes of Who Wants to Be a Superhero this year. It was on April 4th that the series finale and the final missing episode was uploaded, marking the entire series as found. Sesame Street at Night? In celebration of the release of Sesame Street's 1000th episode, Sesame Street at Night was a 1977 PBS special aimed at parents. As the title suggests, the program showed a glimpse of Sesame Street during nightfall, and featured popular segments from the show itself. Hosted by film critic Gene Shalit, who praised the show as being too good for kids in a prior review, the intention of the special was to introduce an adult audience to the premise and subject matter of Sesame Street. Because the special only aired once in 1977, locating any footage proved difficult. Press photos and promotional material were the only available media for years. However, this changed on April 8th, when YouTube channel Pastorus Archive was successful in obtaining and uploading the special's full master tape. Rika. Back in 1999, developer Bit Studios was working on an N64 title meant to be Nintendo's equivalent of the Tomb Raider games, with Nintendo themselves publishing the game. Rika was said to be officially shown at the next E3, with an intended release sometime in 2000, but these never came to fruition. Following a 1999 Nintendo Power mention, Rika was never discussed again, and discreetly cancelled. A former developer for the now defunct Bit Studios, who goes by Tenshu online, uploaded the ROMs in their possession to a closed N64 Facebook group. On April 8th, these ROMs were officially made downloadable on archive.org by game preservationist Luigi Blood. New Baby Mozart. There is absolutely no shortage of lost media involving children's entertainment, and foreign co-productions of this kind of content sometimes become lost or difficult to come by as well. New Baby Mozart is an unofficial Korean adaptation of Baby Einstein, a series of educational media aimed at babies and toddlers. Released on VHS, DVD, and CD, the creators of New Baby Mozart were eventually sued by the creator of the original property. For this reason, all copies of New Baby Mozart were pulled from store shelves in Korea. It wouldn't be until 2019 when the first footage would surface online, uploaded by a user known as George Bonucci. The same user would ultimately obtain a VHS copy, and with the help of user Mr. Waluigi, uploaded it to YouTube. Tony Soprano LeBron James pitch video. LeBron James has been active in the NBA since his draft in 2003. Known as one of the greatest NBA players of all time, many teams have desired LeBron's skills, particularly the New York Knicks. This is where Tony Soprano, of all characters, comes into play. Using the titular character of the HBO series The Sopranos, of which James was a fan, Soprano created a pitch in hopes of recruiting LeBron. LeBron James was eventually signed to the Miami Heat, and the pitch fell into obscurity. Pablo Torre, an ESPN sports writer, had begun a search for this pitch footage. On April 16th, Torre's search would prove successful, as the full 10-minute short would be shared on an episode of his podcast. Dr. Dre Hates Fans. This 2011 YouTube video, being only 1 minute and 38 seconds long, was infamous during its initial upload, receiving significant dislikes and being shared as a joke on rap forums. Dr. Dre Hates Fans is a misleading and somewhat jarring horror video that begins with a recorded interaction between Dr. Dre and a fan, before cutting to a seemingly random and nonsensical clip of a deceased family, which then turns into a promotion for a supernatural book. The video remained on YouTube until 2021, when the original uploader, the Genius Machine, was removed for unknown reasons. The Dr. Dre section of the video was found and shared to a music forum in May of 2023. It was on April 16th that the second half of the video was found and uploaded by YouTube channel Andrew YouTube. Children in Need. This 1995 telethon featured the cast of the British TV show Keeping Up Appearances. While the show itself ran from 1990 to 1995 and is easily accessible online, the Children in Need event was only shown once and never provided in any form following this. Fans of the show became interested in finding the special, as it featured a unique sketch made exclusively for children in need. Following decades of searching and speculation, the full special was suddenly uploaded to YouTube by user Theta Sigma Galefra. I'm not sure how to say that. Captain Mack, stop motion pilot. Captain Mack was a children's show that aired from 2008 to 2010 on British network CTV. While the official release was a live-action show, the original pilot used stop-motion animation. Pitched sometime between 2004 and 2005, the stop-motion variant was created by Cuppa Coffee Studios and Kickback Media. While this stop-motion version was intended to premiere on TV by fall of 2007, these plans fell through, and the project was redone from scratch. The premise remained largely the same, featuring Captain Mack, a sky rocket control pilot. The original pilot was never released during or following the overhaul. That is, until April 21st, when the full pilot was shared on YouTube by the official Captain Mack YouTube channel. Sun Coast Digest, Hospital Zoning Episode. Sun Coast Digest was a local talk show that aired in South Central Florida from 1973 to 1976 on WXLT TV. The show is noteworthy due to it being initially hosted by the late Christine Chubbuck, who tragically passed away following her final appearance on the show in July of 1974. To clarify, the hospital zoning episode is not Chubbuck's final episode, and the air date of this found broadcast is unknown. Nonetheless, this episode's find is monumental in that it's the only footage of Chubbuck to be recovered. The episode was provided by John Griffin to an archivist known as Tape Signal, who strives to document Chubbuck's work in television as a means to humanize her. The full episode was uploaded to Tape Signal's YouTube channel on April 23rd. Opinion, demo version. Opinion is an early track by rock band Nirvana. Written and composed by Kurt Cobain, Opinion never saw an official release. and was only ever performed during a 1990 radio broadcast in Olympia, Washington. This radio show appearance only featured Cobain himself as a guest, but a full demo recording of the song was confirmed to exist in 2015, when a snippet was used within the credits of the biopic Montage of Heck. The version performed on the radio was passed around on bootleg tapes for years among collectors, but did see an official release on the 2004 box set with the lights out. It was on April 23rd that the full demo version was uploaded to the YouTube channel Rare Nirvana. The Intertitle Zone. Everyone knows SpongeBob SquarePants, a beloved Nickelodeon cartoon that has been airing consistently since its 1999 premiere. However, the franchise had its humble origins as a comic book, written and illustrated by series creator Steven Hillenburg, who was a marine science instructor at the time. The intention of the Intertitle Zone was to, quote, help explain the life of organisms living in tide pools along the Southern California coast in an entertaining way. Various similarities are witnessed between this early comic and SpongeBob, notably the character Bob the Sponge, and a snail character closely resembling Gary's final design. While the Intertitle Zone was publicly known for years, the full comic remained lost and unavailable online, seemingly difficult to obtain due to its age and scarcity. It wasn't until April 24th of this year that a full copy surfaced on the Internet Archive, provided by artist Chris McCord after obtaining a copy from a friend. Kuu Movie. This extraordinarily obscure VHS release was only sold by a mail order in 1994. Within it were 3D animated music videos created by digital artist Osamu Sato, best known for later developing the PS1 game LSD Dream Simulator. The visuals of Kuu Movie were developed using a combination of Macintosh and Amiga computers, while the 6 tracks were made by Sato in collaboration with other artists. Sato himself was contacted regarding Kuu Movie. While he was able to upload some incomplete clips to YouTube, he no longer had a copy of the VHS in his possession. It was through the combined efforts of the Osamu Sato Discord server that a copy of this rare tape was acquired and uploaded to archive.org on April 27th. Everyone Knows That. Known online as Everyone Knows That, or Ulterior Motives, this mysterious song emerged following an 18-second clip being uploaded to whatthatsong.com in 2021. It wasn't until the snippet was uploaded by YouTube user JK that the search took the internet by storm. Various theories have been passed around since the track's initial discovery, ranging from the song being used in a commercial to it being a demo created by Savage Garden. It was a lesser-known theory that ultimately revealed the identity of the song, as members of the EKT Discord server had eventually encountered the full version of the track over an hour into the 1986 adult film Angels of Passion. While the audio itself is intermixed with sounds from the film, it is credited as Ulterior Motives by composers Christopher St. Booth and Philip Adrian Booth. It was officially identified on April 28th by Discord users South Pole Ball and Musicality4192 in cooperation with other members of the server. Efforts have now shifted to obtaining isolated audio of the full song. Waga Mama. Waga Mama, which translates to selfish, is a Japanese lost wave topic discovered on a blue cassette tape. The original poster shared this tape on Twitter and later mailed it to a member of the Akaba tape search team to have the track uploaded to YouTube. Following this YouTube upload, Japanese commentators noted that the song was the same as a 1985 track called Even If It's Just a Dream by Yasuko Nato. Upon further research, it was found that Nato's version was a cover, and Waga Mama was officially identified as 1984's Even If It's Just a Dream by Sarah Manasseh. This discovery was made on April 28th by the Akaba Tape Research Discord server. Doki Games. In 2009, a Brazil-exclusive series of educational CD-ROMs was released that featured Doki, the dog mascot character of Discovery Kids in Latin America. 3 titles were released in total, with each game focusing on small children of a particular age group, ranging from 18 months to 5 years old. The Doki games were relatively unknown until receiving online attention in 2021. In 2022, the second game in the series was provided by the blog Games and Cigarettes. The 2 remaining games would later be found and uploaded to Mediafire by Lost Media Wiki Discord user ClowLol. the virtual Ed Sullivan Show. From 1948 to 1971, the Ed Sullivan Show was a staple in late-night television. The show was iconic for its guest performances and its host, Ed Sullivan. In 1998, however, a bizarre special was conceived that made use of a virtual Ed Sullivan, created using primitive motion capture CG graphics. This was years following Sullivan's passing in 1974. The pilot was poorly received, with it never re-airing following its 1998 premiere. The special faded into obscurity, with only one clip proving its existence. Until April 29th, when archival channel Kev the Ripper found and uploaded the full 1998 broadcast to YouTube and MySpleen. A Little Curious. This short-lived HBO family series ran between 1999 and 2000. Despite its brief run, A Little Curious would amass 2 seasons and 43 episodes in total. The show itself featured a cast of household items as its characters, with most segments implementing early computer graphics. The series would be rerun on HBO Family in the decades to follow, though 23 episodes would be removed from circulation for unknown reasons. All 43 episodes would surface on an Indian streaming service in December of 2023. In the months to follow, these episodes would be recovered from the service by a user known as A1CPI and uploaded to the YouTube channel A Little Curious Archive. The final remaining episodes were uploaded in May, with the series being found completely on May 11th. I'm Done. Produced within the Soviet Union in 1975, I'm Done is a comedy musical film. The movie is about a boy who requests a wizard to create a duplicate of himself, which leads the boy to discover more about his character. I'm Done had a brief theatrical run in 1976, and is not known to be shown or released in any form following its initial debut. It was this year that the film emerged online, recovered from a Betacam video cassette. It was digitized and uploaded to the Russian torrent site rutracker.org by Mikhail Podolsky. Catnapped Soundtrack. Catnapped is the localized name for a 1995 anime film created by the minds behind Akira and Serial Experiments Lain, and known for its own intricate visuals. The anime itself was never lost, but the Japan-only soundtrack release remained difficult to recover for quite some time. The soundtrack was released alongside print adaptations of the movie itself, and featured exclusive renditions of the theme song. While one of the tracks was up on YouTube for years, the entire CD remained lost. That is until May 14th, when Lost Media Wiki user Emperor was able to obtain a copy and post it in full to Mediafire. La Canción de Alicia. This unidentified song, known online as La Canción de Alicia, initially gained attention from a 2019 Facebook post. A user shared a 1-minute and 4-second clip of the song and asked if anyone could identify the track. Unfortunately, no one did. It wasn't until the clip was uploaded to YouTube that this lost wave topic began to garner more interest. The song search would ultimately return to Facebook as a 2018 live performance by the band Bad Influence would be discovered on the site. A day following this discovery, the full demo would be uploaded by YouTube user jmike_324, provided by their friend Galen, who knew the band's guitarist. The song has been identified as Dreams Forever by Bad Influence. Apuros do Genesio. Translating in English to Josos Troubles, this Brazilian short film was initially shown in 1940 and starred Brazilian comedian Genósio Arruda, who was already popular at the time of the movie's initial release. The film itself was partially meant to promote future productions starring Arruda. Only a single still image was available for years, provided by film preservation institution Cinematica Brasileira. On May 20th, the very same institution would upload the full film to their YouTube channel as part of an ongoing film archival project. The Backrooms original source. What was undoubtedly the biggest online mystery in recent years, the search for the original Backrooms image perplexed the internet for years. It started on 4chan back in 2019, with a post asking for images that just felt off. If you're not careful, and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpets, the madness of mono yellow, The endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. In the years that followed, the backrooms became something of an internet phenomenon. A myriad of fan-made games, short films, and YouTube videos enveloped the internet. But a few took it one step farther and began to search for the original image of the backrooms. A lengthy search developed, and a host of false leads and theories abound. In May of 2024, members of the Virtual Carbon Discord server found an archived webpage of a 2003 announcement to promote the construction of a new RC car interior raceway in Wisconsin. The page featured updates and images about their renovation of the building, with one of them being the backrooms. Molly and the Skywalkers. In the 1980s, JZM and Bill Menendez Productions produced a duology of films called Molly and the Skywalkers. In contrast to their previous work, Peanuts, these films tackled much more mature and serious topics. The first film, called Happily Ever After, stars Molly Conway, a young girl who begins to experience depression when she finds out her parents are getting a divorce. Her friends, the Skywalkers, attempt to get her parents back together, but it doesn't work. The second film, Two Daddies, has Molly learning to accept the divorce and her mother's new husband. Both films were available on YouTube, but after the channel's termination, only sparse clips remained. There were VHS releases made in the 90s, but they were extremely rare. On June 1st, YouTube user Robert Coates Returns Again re-uploaded both films to his channel. Tarzan Atari 2600. The Atari 2600 was initially released in 1977. While the system saw a lot of success in its early years, 1983's infamous video game crash saw many titles for the system scrapped, figuratively and literally. Among the casualties of this crash was Coleco's Tarzan, an adventure game intended for a 1983 release. Tarzan did see life on another console, as it was subsequently released on the ColecoVision in 1984. The 2600 version fell into obscurity, and while the game's manual was found in 2011, the game itself remained lost. In 2022, a collector known as Atari Spot acquired a working copy of Tarzan 2600 from a former Coleco employee. With assistance from homebrew Thomas Jentz and the Video Game History Foundation, the full game was dumped to archive.org on June 3rd. Downward Doghouse. Niha Kai Lan is a children's animated series that initially aired on Nick Jr. from 2008 to 2011. Prior to the official series premiere, Nick Jr. aired a series of shorts titled Downward Doghouse, within a segment titled My World. These 3 shorts would serve as a precursor to the final Ni Hao Kai Lan series. 2 of the 3 shorts, as well as some of the British dub, had been recovered in previous years. The 3rd short was discovered on June 5th by Lost Media Wiki user CDCB and conclusively uploaded to YouTube by user GamerGuy624. Celebrity Wrestling. In 2005, British TV network ITV1 aired 1 season of a show called Celebrity Wrestling. The show featured 12 celebrities coached by American professional wrestlers. The celebrity contestants had 3 weeks to train and face off against each other. Celebrity Wrestling failed to garner decent ratings, especially against BBC's newly rebooted Doctor Who, and only aired 5 of the 8 episodes produced. The entire show swiftly became lost, with only a 2006 upload of one of the matches, as well as some brief clips from a review being available. In May of this year, YouTube user Game Master Uploader began uploading full episodes of Celebrity Wrestling. The final episode was provided on June 10th. First time vape shop visit. Twitter cut. Okay. Because somebody just had to make an article on this, I now have to talk about it. Anyways, Scott Wozniak has been producing content on his YouTube channel, Scott the Woz, for many years. Among his earliest videos is First Time Vape Shop Visit. Now, the original video was never lost. What was lost was the Twitter cut of the original video. Oh my fucking god. While the video's contents were not certain, Scott himself will later clarify that this cut was simply a shortened version of the YouTube video to fit Twitter's time limit restrictions. The Twitter cut was uploaded to Scott's second channel, Scott's Stash, but was privated at some point for unknown reasons. The edit remained lost until Lost Media Wiki user Buddy Epster, as well as YouTube video archivist The Tech Robo, were able to retrieve and upload the Twitter cut to archive.org on June 11th. AU. In 1983, during the golden age of arcade gaming, a shoot-'em-up game was in development by the company Tekken, now known as Koei Tecmo. The game was titled AU, derived from the elemental symbol for gold, and was shown to the public in September of that year. Due to a lack of interest during location testing, AU went unreleased. A board containing the game was discovered in a Koei Tecmo warehouse back in 2011, though it was in poor condition and unplayable. The only known video of the game itself running was provided in a DVD box set in 2014. A playable cabinet was temporarily set up in Tokyo to celebrate this DVD release. At long last, on June 20th, AU was recovered and made playable on the HB MAME emulator. The provider of the ROM itself remains unknown. Conquest, June 21st. This 1998 Canadian British romance film was based in the rural town of Conquest, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I'm from Saskatchewan!
And inspired by the writer's own experiences with the town. The movie itself follows the relationship of a banker living in Conquest and a woman who finds herself stranded in the town. Conquest did see a theatrical release, and would later air on CBC in Canada and Showtime in the United States. Remnants of a VHS listing have been uncovered on Amazon as well. A recorded broadcast of Conquest was uploaded to MySpleen by a user named Otumetsu. Enchanted. Enchanted is a live-action Disney film starring Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey, and tells the story of an animated princess being transported to modern-day New York. It features a number of songs, though one specific track and its accompanying scene were removed entirely. The song, also titled Enchanted, was removed as it fell out of place with the other live-action numbers. The scene was initially supposed to be included in Enchanted's DVD release, as it was teased in interviews. However, this never came to fruition. The scene would fail to be included in all subsequent releases, but would be eventually provided to the YouTube channel Disney Ashman Demos by an anonymous source. The full scene, song included, was uploaded on June 23rd. Godzilla, Akira Takarada's scene. Spanning 38 films since 1954, Godzilla doesn't need any introduction. While the series has seen a number of reboot films over the years, produced in both Japan and America, this piece of lost media involves the 2014 reboot film. This movie was a part of Warner Bros.' MonsterVerse series, and ended up with a 2-hour runtime. A number of scenes were cut, but what may be the most important of these features a brief cameo from Akira Takarada, who starred in the original 1954 Godzilla film. Fans were aware of the scene being removed from the film itself, leaving many fans outraged. Over the past decade, efforts were made in trying to get the scene released in some capacity. It was on June 24th that Legendary Pictures and Warner Bros. Released the scene within their MonsterVerse 4K Blu-ray set. The Big Boss Part 2. The Big Boss, a martial arts film starring Bruce Lee, was released to theaters in 1971. 5 years later, an unofficial sequel, aptly titled The Big Boss Part 2, saw a release with a completely different actor known as Bruce Lee, as Bruce Lee had passed away in 1973. Part 2 fell into obscurity, and is considered a rare gem among fans of the genre today. The Big Boss Part 2 did see a fairly recent Los Angeles showing in 2014. Moreover, VHS copies were produced, and a master reel was located in South Africa back in 2010. While an abridged VHS copy was made available on YouTube in 2021, the full undoctored film was eventually included in a Blu-ray box set released by Severin Films. This set saw its official release on June 25th. Bye Bye Belly Button, all version. In 2001, Levi's released a line of jeans in what's called the super low cut. That same year, a series of commercials correlating with this began airing, known for involving belly buttons, singing a song of I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross. To send off the ad campaign, a special version aired only one time in 2001, during a WB special titled Teens People's What's Next 2001. While the exact time the commercial aired was known, 9:38 EST, the commercial itself remained lost. On July 1st, a YouTube user known as Vintage VHS2 had uploaded a full VHS recording of Teens People's What's Next 2001 with ad breaks intact. The full Bye Bye Belly Button commercial was found within this upload. English Pingu. Pingu is a beloved stop-motion animated series, originating from Switzerland that aired throughout the 1990s and 2000s. While the characters speak a made-up language, referred to as Penguinese, this specific release was dubbed into English and only appeared in South Korea. Why? Well, this series of 6 VHS tapes was meant to teach the viewer the English vocabulary. Despite that, English Pingu remains infamous due to its shoddy dub.
You bad boy! Do you want to get whipped?
I cannot forgive you. Never.
Forgive me, Father.
No.
While the majority of the series was already on YouTube, though frequently blocked due to copyright, the third volume remained lost for some time. On July 3rd, a user named Weirdo2003 uploaded the entire VHS series to the Internet Archive. Pat and Matt Playing Cards. Pat and Matt is a Czechoslovakian stop-motion cartoon that has been airing regularly since the 1970s. It features the slapstick antics of two silent handymen, the titular Pat and Matt. The series is a household name within its home country, though plans were in motion to bring the series to the United States. Playing Cards is an episode that would have aired in 1998. Due to the studio's bankruptcy, the episode was never released as intended. While clips of Playing Cards have surfaced in a variety of ways over the years, the full episode would not be found until July 3rd, when YouTube user iNenny2, I probably horribly mispronounced that, with the help of another user named TimeGreg2, was able to upload the full episode. Jeopardy! SpongeBob appearance. In 2003, the TV game show Jeopardy aired a unique week of episodes featuring Nickelodeon characters. The event was called Holiday Kids Week and featured contestants between the ages of 10 to 12. These episodes had unique Double Jeopardy clips, in which characters from Rocket Power, Blue's Clues, Rugrats, and SpongeBob read off clues to the contestants and viewers. The clips were composed of original animation and voice acting. The January 9th episode included the SpongeBob clip and remained relatively unknown for many years. On July 3rd of 2023, it was mentioned on the LMW forums. On July 5th, 2024, the full Jeopardy episode would be uploaded to the Internet Archive by user Sam Bonzi. Karni Ka Lang Sa Hazing. This is a Filipino PSA that initially aired in 1995. The message was against the act of hazing, or humiliating and endangering someone as a requirement to join a group or clique. First-hand accounts of this PSA claimed that it had disturbing visuals that were highly unsettling, involving an unseen person beating a slab of meat with a paddle, and the tagline, "You're just a slab of meat to hazing." Viewers of the PSA recalled it airing on specific stations and during particular programs. This led to the overall finding of this PSA by YouTube user Undust Fixation on July 8th. Divided City. Intended for release on the Xbox 360 and PS3, this game, by Pseudo Interactive, would have been a combination between racing and vehicle-based combat. While not much else is known, Divided City would have been similar to Pseudo Interactive's Full Auto series, but in a post-apocalyptic setting. A gameplay demo was completed for Divided City, but went unreleased, as Divided City was cancelled in 2008, when Pseudo Interactive went under. The game virtually disappeared until July 10th, 2024, when builds were found by users Nitro Zitty and K-Bonk. However, this story goes deeper. The builds were recovered from a lot of Xbox and Xbox 360 development kits that were discovered in a computer recycling plant in Calgary, Alberta. Nitro Zitty and K-Bonk were some of the many users who helped purchase and dump the dev kits from the recycling plants. Included in the lot were 6 prototype builds of Divided City. There were also mini builds for another cancelled game. Speaking of which, Carmageddon Crude Awakening. Also developed by Pseudo Interactive, though published by SCI, Carmageddon Crude Awakening was a PS3 and Xbox 360 game in development from 2007 to 2008. This game would have been an entry into the long-running Carmageddon series, though it had a 1930s-inspired aesthetic that would have been a series first. The cancellation of Crude Awakening, due primarily to change in SCI's management, was devastating for Pseudo Interactive. It inevitably led to the closure of Pseudo themselves. This was yet another game found within the lot of Xbox development kits that Divided City was discovered in. In fact, a good chunk of these builds were recovered by the previous users, Nitro City and Kabonk. A total of 76 builds of this game have been uncovered in total, all provided to Hidden Palace. Po Eye Doctor. This short-lived mobile game was available on the Google Play Store in 2013, and was a bootleg of Po, a virtual pet game available on smartphones around the same time. The gameplay was incredibly simple, very similar to other shoddy healthcare-centric Flash games. While screenshots could be found through the archived Google Play link, the game is no longer downloadable. On July 12th, the APK file was uploaded to Mediafire by user QFun. Another Story of Freddy's. This fan game was based on the popular horror series Five Nights at Freddy's, and was accessible on the game-sharing site GameJolt at some point during the mid-2010s. Created by a user named Mack, gameplay was very similar to the FNAF games themselves, and multiple gameplay videos can be found on YouTube. Despite the presence of these videos, information on the game itself is sparse. It's been inferred that Another Story of Freddy's was only playable for a short period during 2016. It was taken off of GameJolt at some point, with the original URL no longer preserving the game in any way, even with the use of the Wayback Machine. Multiple games inspired by this fan game came about, but it wouldn't be until July 13th that the original will be found, provided by Internet Archive user Master Yang. Copeland's Herobrine stream. This livestream, while not the first mention of the Herobrine legend itself, is widely considered to be what popularized the legend within the Minecraft community. Herobrine originated from a creepypasta initially, and is said to be the deceased brother of Minecraft's creator, though there are many tales attributed to this character. The stream itself, by popular early Minecraft streamer Copeland, depicts a sudden encounter with Herobrine in-game, and Copeland's reaction. The stream is significant to Minecraft lore, and played a part in shaping the community itself. Despite that, the original stream was only up for around a year before officially becoming lost. The search lasted for over a decade, with a recreation surfacing in 2015, and confirmed fake by Copeland himself. It was on July 15th that the full stream would finally be found. This is when a YouTuber known as Brutal Little F Jomp came forward, having saved the full stream back when it was available. The stream is now up on their channel. Doodle Doo. Doodle Doo is a show that aired on the UK children's network CBeebies from 2006 to 2010. The show taught young children various arts and crafts, and centered on puppets made from knit gloves, and amassed a total of 46 episodes during its run. A number of episodes began to be found as early as 2020, though the entire series would not be found until July 25th, when YouTube user Not So Absorbent provided the remaining episodes. I Love Egg. This series of Korean flash animations was aimed at children, and saw a spread of popularity throughout the mid to late 2000s. As the name suggests, it featured singing egg characters. The franchise sold products throughout the United States, United Kingdom, and Asia. A comic and official animated series would follow, leaving the animations to fall into obscurity and become lost. The I Love Egg franchise has not been active since 2013, and the official web pages were eventually taken down. Episodes have been recovered here and there, but the entire Flash series was officially deemed found on July 26, when a YouTube user named what I believe translates to Flash Theater provided the missing episodes. Hey, it's Fat Albert. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids is a long-running cartoon series, airing from 1972 to 1985, that was based around the comic routines and upbringing of Bill Cosby. In 1969, prior to the show's run on NBC, the network had shown a 28-minute animated special with tentative character designs, live-action visuals for backgrounds, and a completely different art style overall. Known officially as Hey Hey Hey, It's Fat Albert, the series only aired 2 times before falling into obscurity, with those who worked on the special feeling the approach and visual style simply did not work well for the material. While a copy of the special was known to exist, it was never available to view online in any way. It was in February of this year that the full audio was recovered by Lost Media Wiki user M. Acrylic, though it wouldn't be until July 28th that YouTube user Unknown Tracks had provided a recording of the full special. Paired with the previously found audio, the full special was deemed found. SpongeBob SquarePants and the Nicktoons, Grav Jet Racing. This Nickelodeon racing game was planned for release in 2009 for the Xbox 360 and PC, though this release never came to fruition. The game would have featured characters from a multitude of Nickelodeon properties, including Ren and Stimpy, My Life as a Teenage Robot, and of course, SpongeBob SquarePants. The game was officially rated by the ESRB and came close to completion, but was cancelled due to financial troubles of the developer, the now defunct Santa Cruz Games. Grav Jet Racing was found by chance by a YouTuber known as Alpha Archive within the files of an Xbox 360 development kit. These files were provided to the Internet Archive on August 2nd. Mini Putt, NES port. Originally released in 1987, Mini Putt was initially available for the Commodore 64, MS-DOS, and other home computers before seeing a release in Japan for the Famicom. Mini Putt was supposed to be ported to the NES in 1991. The port was near completion and reviewed by multiple publications. For reasons undisclosed, this NES port was cancelled, never seeing an official release. An NES prototype of Mini Putt was listed on eBay back in 2015, and while the auction did sell, the game never surfaced online following the sale. Lost Media Wiki user Bro3256 would contact Hidden Palace via Discord regarding the game. Shortly following this, video game preservationist Frank Cifaldi was reached out by Hidden Palace, who in turn provided a ROM for Mini Putt. It was ultimately made available on Hidden Palace on August 2nd. Charlie the Steak. Charlie the Steak is a 2013 iOS game that saw a sudden surge in popularity as a lost media topic and meme over 2024. The game essentially entailed provoking and straight-up antagonizing an uncanny steak with a face, and witnessing the consequences of these actions. Charlie the Steak was delisted from the App Store some time ago and no longer available. Fast forward to August 2nd, when archive.org user Dipper Gaming had provided the IPA file to the iPad version of the game. Only 2 days later, on August 4th, the game's newfound popularity was recognized by developer Sebastian Hald, who re-released it on the App Store. Winston Churchill, Olympic speech transcript. Winston Churchill, one of Britain's most notable figures, is perhaps best known for his leadership during World War II and his ability to give powerful speeches. Though the speech was reported by the Times, it was largely forgotten about until 100 years later in 2024, when the International Churchill Society went searching for information about his thoughts on the Olympics. The speech was then rediscovered by Alan Packwood, tucked away in the Churchill Archive Center in Cambridge University. G.I. Joe the Movie Deleted Scene. G.I. Joe is a popular line of toys, dating back to 1964. In the decades that follow, the toy line has seen a plethora of media adaptations. Among the most well-known was the 1987 animated film, based on the 80s TV series. Within this film was a deleted scene, deemed too graphic for children. One that contained the death of Duke Hauser, a well-known character in the series. The original scene did not make the final cut, as the narrative was altered to make Duke fall into a coma instead. At a Transformers convention in England, called TF Nation, attendees were surprised with an impromptu showing of the original death scene, as well as audio from a funeral scene that was never animated. The full panel, with the scenes and audio included, was uploaded to YouTube on August 11th by Steve and Dave Mapes. Brain Surge. Brain Surge is a Nickelodeon game show that initially aired between 2009 and 2011. The game itself, created by the same person behind Legends of the Hidden Temple, involved a variety of questions that tested the memory and problem-solving skills of its contestants. The show was popular during its run, having been rerun on both Nicktoons and Nick at Night. A number of episodes had only aired one time, which made recovering the full series a difficult task. It was thanks to the efforts of the community that episodes of Brain Surge were gradually recovered, with the final remaining episode surfacing on August 14th. Prince of Light. Prince of Light is an anime film released in Japan back in 1993. In 2001, the film would be condensed and dubbed into English. The footage saw numerous edits, changes to the soundtrack, and a voice cast that included Bryan Cranston and the late James Earl Jones. While the film did premiere in LA, no home video release actually occurred in the United States. In the years to follow, releases in Russia and the Czech Republic had surfaced, but proved to be incredibly rare. It wouldn't be until August 21st that a Czech DVD had been secured and uploaded to YouTube by The Plastic Toad. Joe Ball's World. This is an early internet game produced by Spanish developer Extreme Soft in 1994. Joe Ball's World is a side-scrolling platformer starring a ball character with a gun. This game has been mentioned scarcely online, and gameplay was uploaded to YouTube back in 2010. It was in 2019 that the game was uploaded to the Russian webpage oldgames.ru. This upload would go unnoticed until August 26th of this year, when Lost Media Wiki user Jerry Ulyanov had discovered the game files on the website and provided them to the Internet Archive. Some online users have claimed that this recovered version of Joe Ball's World is not the full version, instead only a shareware version, but these claims remain unconfirmed. Sweet Slave Comedy. Many of you may be familiar with Hatsune Miku. This popular character is what's known as a Vocaloid, a fictional character that users can compose songs for. UTAU, on the other hand, is a freeware alternative to Vocaloid that anyone can access. Sweet Slave Comedy is a 2013 song composed with UTAU. The upload was fairly obscure, only amassing around 3,000 views on Nico Nico Douga, before being deleted by the uploader less than a year later. The original upload would surface once again on August 22nd, uploaded to Bilibili by a user whose name possibly translates to Rio's Rain-Soaked Flower Offering. This year's weird. Starstorm. Starstorm is a 1994 pilot by Renaissance Atlantic Films, intended to adapt the manga and anime series Saint Seiya for American audiences. The same company was known for adapting the original Power Rangers series, as well as the Toon Maker Sailor Moon pilot that was found last year. Unlike the source material, Starstorm's pilot was live action. The pilot's pitch failed, and the project fell into obscurity, with the only distinct mention coming from a 2003 magazine interview featuring the creator of Saint Seiya. A demo reel for Renaissance Atlantic had surfaced in 2018, showing almost 20 seconds of footage. Starstorm would not truly surface until August 27th, when YouTuber Raymona was able to obtain the full pilot from the Library of Congress. Monster Buster Club Pilot. This French-Canadian animated series saw a release in Canada and throughout Europe. The series itself aired from 2007 to 2009, but a pilot for the show was produced back in 2003. This pilot was only intended to be shown to potential networks, and used different character models than that of the final release. The pilot was discovered by chance on August 30th, when Lost Media Wiki user Sunella had discovered the full pilot on the webpage of Frank Vibert, an independent artist who worked on the show. Playing with Fire. Gary Coleman was a former child star, best known for his role in the sitcom Different Strokes that aired in the 70s and 80s. Coleman faced difficulty escaping his family-friendly image, and attempted to do so in 1985 with the drama Playing with Fire. This made-for-TV movie starred Coleman as a troubled teen who was prone to committing crimes, particularly arson. The film was meant to spread awareness regarding arson and fire safety. Playing with Fire was poorly received, and not aired again following its 1985 premiere. Some have claimed that this movie was shown in schools, but this remains unconfirmed. It was on September 1st that a full VHS recording of the premiere was uploaded to archive.org by The Shadow Knight 1979. The Game of Life. The short-lived game show aired on the now-defunct Hub Network between 2011 and 2012. Based on the board game of the same name, two families would compete for some kind of grand prize. The show was among two other game shows on the network based on board games that aired around this time. Reruns of The Game of Life were observed until 2014, and possibly later on, as the network rebranded to Discovery Family. Episodes were recovered by various users over the years, with the show being available on Tubi for a short period of time. The final missing episode was recovered by TV personality Adam Wurtzel and uploaded to his YouTube channel on September 6th. Celebrity number 6 Source Image. The search for the original Celebrity number 6 image has been an ongoing mystery since 2020. It all started when a Reddit user named Tonsa H posted a strange current fabric online. This fabric featured artwork of various celebrities, and Tonsa H was requesting help in identifying all of them. However, the identity of this individual, dubbed Celebrity number 6, remained elusive for many years, inspiring a collaborative search effort. A breakthrough came in September 2024 when Reddit user Stefan Morse retouched the fabric image, leading to a PimEye search that suggested Spanish model Leticia Sardá. Reddit user Indigo Room contacted the photographer, who confirmed taking the source photograph for a magazine, which Sardá later verified by providing the original image. Professor Laion and the Mansion of the Deathly Mirror. The Professor Laion game series has been ongoing since 2007. While primarily on Nintendo hardware, a 2008 entry to the series was released onto flip phones compatible with iMode, a Japan-exclusive internet service for mobile phones. This game would be re-released with completely different puzzles for another mobile phone service in 2009. Both versions have been unavailable for download since 2014, but raw gameplay footage of the 2009 version has surfaced in 2023. On February 2nd, the first 3 chapters of the 2008 version were uploaded to Twitter by user UV. On September 13th, the remaining 3 chapters were uploaded as well, rendering this game found. All that aside though, the 2009 version still remains lost. Tord explains why he left Ed's World. This 2012 YouTube video was uploaded by Tord Larson, a content creator best known for working on Ed's World, which was a Flash animated series that has been running since 2004. In 2012, Ed Gould, the creator of Ed's World, had tragically passed away. While Larson had left Ed's World back in 2008, he created this video to address why they had left, and to pay respects to Gould himself. In this video, Larson had recalled years of harassment by fans of Ed's World, and a desire to separate himself from the property. Shortly after, Larson deleted the entire channel, wishing to escape the public eye. The video would not surface again until October 3rd, uploaded in full by user Binky So Stinky. Alberto Del Rio versus CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger versus John Cena. This 5-way Hell in a Cell wrestling match was filmed within the Spring Center in Kansas City, and is the only match of this kind to go untelevised. The match involved John Cena, the WWE Champion, against Alberto Del Rio, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, and Jack Swagger. While the prior matches that night aired on Raw, the broadcast had ended prior to this 5-minute cage match. While audience recordings have been available, and snippets of the match were shared by the WWE in 2017, the official master footage remained unreleased. The full match would see an official release on October 4th, with its inclusion in a video on the WWE Vault YouTube channel. The Thunderman's pitch pilot. Airing on Nickelodeon from 2013 to 2018, The Thundermans was a live-action Nickelodeon sitcom that followed a family of superheroes. 1 year prior, in October of 2012, a pitch pilot for the show was recorded. A multitude of design and plot changes were observed between the pilot and the official first episode, though the full pitch was never made fully available. The script, as well as some animations used within the pilot itself, have been online for some time. The full pilot ended up being uploaded to YouTube by user Andrew Wara. Mack Tonight, extended version. In the late 1980s, McDonald's, in order to increase sales during dinner time, created the Mack Tonight character in a series of commercials. The original ads featured a theme song that parodied Mack the Knife, a 1959 song by Bobby Darin. While the commercials were well received, they were ultimately discontinued when Darin's son took legal action against McDonald's. While a 30-second version of the song was featured in the commercials, an extended version, being 60 seconds long, was known to exist as well. Brock Walsh, Mack Tonight's voice actor, was contacted regarding the full version, but did not possess a copy of it. The search went cold until October 13th, when YouTube user FNickJFKShow uploaded a recording of a McDonald's event in Florida, where Mack Tonight appeared. 6 minutes into the recording, Mack Tonight performs the full 60-second version of his theme song. Year of Spider-Man. Year of Spider-Man was commissioned by Marvel themselves and created by Big Chair Productions. This almost 4-minute short film was thought to have been shown to investors to generate excitement for the then upcoming Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. The short features a mix of live action, animation, and images to depict Spider-Man's powers and origin. Year of Spider-Man was never intended to be shown to the public and was screened one time in a private theater. Despite this, mentions of it existed on archive web pages, particularly the Big Chair webpage from 2000. The film was found and uploaded to YouTube by Fudge Budger, and contrary to popular belief, it had nothing to do with the movie. While it was screened privately to investors, its intention was to excite investors with Spider-Man's general marketing potential. The best of the worst. Ed's World is a popular Flash animated series created by Ed Gould. As previously mentioned, Gould passed away in 2012, but others who worked on the web series continue to keep it running to this day. Prior to the start of Ed's World in 2004, Gould had worked on a webcomic called The Best of the Worst. This comic is often seen as a prototype to Ed's World, as it features the same characters and plot. There were 7 comics in total, all released throughout 2004. The first, second, and 6th comic were available online, but it wasn't until October 14th that issues 3, 4, 5, and 7 were deemed found, recovered by the archival site Ed Vault. Was He a Boy Like Me? Music video. Was He a Boy Like Me is a song from the 2005 VeggieTales album, The Incredible Singing Christmas Tree, sung by Junior Asparagus. While the album is easily obtainable, the music video, that was shown a year later, was never released in any media. This animated music video accompanied A Very Veggie Christmas live, and was only shown during these live shows throughout the 2006 holiday season. The music video was up briefly on the webpage of animator Joshua Gunther, among various demo reels, but was removed years ago. The ultimate unofficial VeggieTales channel would eventually obtain the full music video, uploading it to their YouTube channel on October 15th. Alligator Boots. Kanye West has had involvement in a number of TV projects over the years, and this isn't the only one to become recovered lost media. Alligator Boots is a 2008 pilot produced by West for Comedy Central. The show intended to have a similar format to The Muppet Show. As a matter of fact, the puppets themselves were created by Jim Henson's Muppet Workshop. West had worked together with the creators of Crank Yankers, the rapper Rhymefest, and even Kim Kardashian on this project. Comedy Central never picked up on Alligator Boots, and while a documentary about the pilot itself was produced, the actual episode has never been shown to the public. The whereabouts of this pilot, and how much of it was actually produced, was a mystery. On October 16th, Alligator Boots surfaced in full on the Yeezy Cord Discord server, and was subsequently uploaded to YouTube. Tornado Hunters. Silly Songs with Larry is a musical segment within the VeggieTales home video releases. One of these silly songs, titled Tornado Hunters, was intended to be included in the 2011 episode The Princess and the Pop Star, but was ultimately scrapped due to a real-life tornado occurring around the same time. As the title suggests, the short would have featured Larry and some of his friends hunting for tornadoes. No public announcement for this silly song had ever occurred, but the animation and the audio was fully completed. Existence of the short itself had actually been confirmed via an error within an unrelated DVD release. Over the course of this past year, more information had been uncovered regarding this piece of lost media, including a script and an interview with a VeggieTales co-creator. On October 17th, the full short was uploaded to the Ultimate Unofficial VeggieTales channel after receiving it from an anonymous source. Rescue 911. Airing on CBS from 1989 to 1996, Rescue 911 was a drama series that retold real-life emergency situations. While initially popular, the show was canceled in 1995 after 6 seasons. Despite its cancellation, episodes for the 7th season were already in the works. For this reason, the network allowed these final episodes to run as replacement programming in different time slots. The first 6 seasons have been rerun over the years, and recently made available through streaming. The season's 7 episodes only aired once, making them especially hard to come by. The show featured multiple segments per episode, and various segments have surfaced online over the years by multiple online users. The last remaining segment was recovered by YouTube user AllGood2000 on October 20th, completing the full series. The Power of Zoo, English dub. Amazing Adventures of Zoo, known originally as The Power of Zoo, is a Canadian-American animated film that saw a final release in 2012. The movie is based on Zoo Pets, electronic hamster toys that were very popular around this time. So popular, in fact, that a series of these films were planned, with The Power of Zoo being the second in the series. While the film was dubbed in English, it never ended up seeing any release in any English-speaking country, and thus, the original English version became lost. The Power of Zoo had initially surfaced on YouTube back in 2021 by user David Ish, but this original upload was not archived prior to it being removed. On October 26th, YouTube channel Boost Team re-uploaded the original full upload by David Ish, rendering it found again. Like the Wind. The most mysterious song on the internet, as it's also known as, is among the longest and most renowned Lost Wave pieces. In 2007, a user uploaded a clip of this song to a Usenet group. This user, later referred to as Lydia, was hoping to have the track identified for her brother. According to Lydia's brother, later referred to as Darius, this song was recorded from a 1984 radio broadcast, and they had been unable to find info on the song. The same clip was shared on spiritofradio.ca that same year, though the search would not gain traction until a decade later, with Like the Wind's upload to YouTube, and the founding of the official subreddit. In the years to follow, the mystery was covered by various YouTubers and news outlets, and the song itself was even broadcasted on the very radio station it was speculated to have initially aired on. The over 16-year search finally came to an end on November 4th, when Reddit user Margin1412 discovered a German newspaper article detailing a band that matched the description of Like the Wind in timeframe, location, and musical style. After successfully contacting the band members and receiving the studio version of the song, Like the Wind was officially identified as Subways of Your Mind by FEX, or FEX. The band members, who are all still alive today, have gone on to be interviewed and played the song live for the first time in 40 years. The Blair Witch Project, Amazon exclusive deleted scene. The Blair Witch Project is an iconic 90s horror film that pioneered the found footage style of filmmaking and utilized the early internet as part of its marketing campaign. For example, its distribution company, Artisan Pictures, teamed up with Amazon to release a deleted scene exclusively on its website. Some years later, Amazon removed the scene from their servers, and it has remained lost ever since. On November 11th, 2024, Second Sight Films released a limited edition Blu-ray set of the film, including new and unseen deleted scenes, and one of them just so happened to be the long-lost Amazon exclusive scene. Talking Patrick Star. Talking Patrick Star, also distributed as Talking Hilarious Star, was an unofficial app that used the SpongeBob character Patrick Star without permission from Nickelodeon. The app was distributed in 2010 on iOS by Double-A Games, and in 2015 on Android devices under the Hilarious Star name and by a completely different developer. They basically allowed the user to interact with Patrick by pressing buttons to elicit different commands, similar to other talking-type apps of that era. The 2015 version has been found for some time, though the original iOS variant remained lost for several years, as the files had not been properly dumped when attempts were made in the past. It was on November 14th that user WaffleGuy3610 was able to provide a playable ROM to archive.org. Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark is a 1995 Japanese point-and-click adventure game. The game takes place in the year 2100, when mankind faces an existential threat and resorts to terraforming Mars. Suddenly, a tower from the ground erupts, and it's up to the investigating team, led by the player, to investigate the building. The search for this game began on 4chan, when a user inquired about its missing status. At the time, the only proof of its existence was a shoddy-looking website with a brief description and images of the game. A lengthy search soon developed after, and the game was finally discovered in November of this year by user beanstalk_redump, who found it through a Japanese auction. Ben 10 Pop-Up Trivia Marathon. The original Ben 10 is a classic Cartoon Network show, and in 2008, special pop-up episodes began airing, featuring unique trivia about the series. It was believed that all 49 episodes had a pop-up version, but it was later confirmed that only 18 were made. In 2019, Madman Entertainment was contacted, but confirmed that they had no plans to release the pop-up episodes. It wouldn't be until 2024 that all the episodes were recovered by Twitter user VegetaSasuke0. Hollywood Boulevard USA. Hollywood Boulevard USA is an animated short film by Steven Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants. The short was made in 2013, and would be his last independent project before his death in 2018. It features animations based on a video Hillenburg recorded of pedestrians walking in Hollywood Boulevard. The short was shown at several film festivals, but was never made publicly available, aside from a few stills over the years. A Vimeo account named Steven Hillenburg Short Films uploaded Hollywood Boulevard USA in 2024, though how they obtained the film remains a mystery. Paper Mario Sticker Star E3 2010 Trailer. Paper Mario Sticker Star is the fourth video game installment in the Paper Mario franchise. Released in 2012, the game received a mixed reception for its gameplay quality. However, 2 years prior, early footage of Sticker Star was shown at E3, featuring a game different from the final product. The footage isn't great, as the trailer was being played on a 3DS and recorded from a distance using a camera. Thankfully, in December of this year, the full trailer was uploaded by YouTuber Marionova and user MaxiBash. I Wish You Well. Some of Imagine Dragons' earlier work has been lost to time, as their first 3 EPs went out of print after the band signed with Interscope. While some of these lost songs have been officially released over time, the song I Wish You Well remained elusive for several years, surviving mostly through recordings of live performances. However, in 2010, a 50-second teaser of an actual studio recording of the song appeared in the Blue Microphones podcast. Over a decade later, in 2024, an anonymous donor sent the full studio recording of I Wish You Well to the Lost Media Wiki. House of Horrors. House of Horrors is a 1970 PSA for the National Hemophilia Foundation. Like many older PSAs, it became lost to time, with many recalling it as particularly frightening. Supposed details included a scary voiceover, twisted camera shots of household items, and a demonic, childlike laughter. Despite being lost since the 70s, a YouTube channel named Classic PSAs uploaded the complete House of Horrors PSA, albeit in low quality. Thank you guys so much for watching. Wow, another year. I can't believe it went by this quickly. But yeah, as always, thanks to SakuraStardust for helping writing this, and YoshiKiller for helping collect all the entries and found media and stuff. And yeah, another year. It is currently December 24th as I'm recording some last minute entries and corrections. And yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. See you in 2025.